Any day now, James Gunn and Peter Safran will announce at least a part of their first chapter of the DCU, and that's the official term that James Gunn used. Obviously we're making the big comparisons between this DCU and the MCU, and I talked about in my video the other day, kind of the structure set up with him talking about revealing part of this first section of projects. I was like, oh, so it's gonna be like phase one. But, to differentiate themselves from the MCU, they got to be like, okay, no, it's not phase one. It's actually chapter one. Okay, be specific, guys. So, so that is coming literally any day now. I mean, it's supposed to come, that announcement, by the end of January. And, there's like a week left of January, less than a week left of January at this point. So it's coming any day now. And of course, we are all highly anticipating these announcements. We still don't know what's coming, when it's coming, how it's coming, anything like that. But of course, the other day I did post a video doing my predictions of what I think James Gunn's plan is and what I think will be announced during this initial chapter one of James Gunn's DCU. And now here we are with part two. I told you guys I'd do a second part to this video, and here we are a couple days later. And this is less about predicting what he's going to reveal, because again, he said he'd just reveal a few projects from the first chapter of this universe and this 10-year plan that they're building. But in this video, I'm going to be talking more about what I think / want from the rest of this 10-year plan, or at least at some point in this universe. Might not even be the first 10 years, might be just at some point here. But I think this is what I think is essential to building a DC cinematic universe. So again, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to go check out part one, chapter one, as I posted it yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before. But anyway, well, without further ado, let's jump into this and start with a little bit of a recap. So let's see, where were we? So we got Superman project, which of course we know is obviously already in development. With likely, my prediction at least, Jason Momoa as Lobo as the villain of this project. I think that just makes perfect sense. We have Peacemaker Season 2, which is another thing we know James Gunn is working on. And I feel like this would lead into maybe not specifically Suicide Squad 3 or another Suicide Squad movie, but at least some sort of new Suicide Squad project, whether that is a movie or an HBO Max series. There's been rumors about Checkmate and all that stuff. We also have Green Lantern, another obvious pick that you got to do Green Lantern at this point. We've been missing him for years now. Green Arrow and the Black Canary. This is a nice prediction right here, just because I want to see these characters on the big screen. Of course, a new Wonder Woman movie as well. Bring together the DC Trinity, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. This is kind of a little bit of a wish list thing for me that I don't know how likely it is, but I feel like this is right up James Gunn's alley. Martian Manhunter, I think, would be another fun one to do. The Question was another HBO Max series that I pitched in that video. Again, check that out if you haven't seen already for the in-depth analysis. And Plastic Man. I mean, you got to do Plastic Man. Again, this is so James Gunn's vibe, and, we've been waiting years for a Plastic Man movie. It's about time. Give me some Ben Schwartz as Plastic Man. Or, honestly, Andy Samberg would be good too, but I really like Ben Schwartz. And then, of course, again, as I talked about in that video, Justice League. That's kind of the obvious thing that we would be building up to here. I highly doubt we're going to get the reveal from James Gunn of a new Justice League movie whenever he does do his announcement this month. We will obviously get a Justice League movie at some point. Will that be a Justice League versus Darkseid movie, or Justice League versus the Legion of Doom, or somebody else? We don't know, and we'll probably be waiting a while until we do find out about that. But as I pitched in that video, I think they'll do first instead a mini team-up movie of World's Finest, do a little Batman-Superman team-up movie, which then would lay the foundation and groundwork to then we do the actual big leagues Justice League movie. But now, that's kind of conclusion to the recap of part one. Again, check out the full video if you haven't already for the in-depth analysis. But now let's jump into what else I would love to see from James Gunn's brand new DC cinematic universe. So of course, we should kick it all off with a Scooby-Doo Batman crossover. This is a complete joke, but honestly, who wouldn't love this? I mean, this would be amazing. I mean, I love Batman. I love Scooby-Doo. You put them together, that's a big money maker right there. And Scooby-Doo has been struggling as a franchise for years now. I would love to see him return to live action. Do a live action Batman Scooby-Doo crossover. again, this is a joke, but this would be hilarious. And like, if I could make any DC movie, this would honestly be it. This would be amazing. I mean, they did it in animation many times. They even did it in the comics as well. But let's do it in live action now. That'd be cool. But in all seriousness, let's talk about Bane. Now, Bane is a character that I don't know exactly where or when he would fit in during this plan, but James Gunn has been recently talking about how a lot of his actors from Guardians of the Galaxy could be coming over to join him at DC Studios, and he talked about in the other video Chris Pratt possibly for a Booster Gold, but Dave Bautista is a big one who not only has been a big fan cast for the character of Bane, but has even said himself that he wants to play Bane to the point of where he actually stormed into Warner Brothers and demanded that he play Bane. Now, that didn't end up going anywhere, but I would love to see him as Bane. And I kind of doubt we're going to be getting Bane in the Matt Reeves, the Batman universe. So I say bring him in somewhere here. I don't know if that would be for a James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, a possible Peacemaker Season 2, maybe a Batman HBO Max series, which we'll be talking about in a second here. I don't know, just some possibilities, but I would love to see Dave Bautista as Bane. Maybe even a Bane solo movie. I think that would be great. There's actually potential for that. It's a great character that really, I mean, we've seen Bane in live action plenty of times before, but we've never seen him done complete justice to what he really truly is in the comics, and like what we saw in the original Batman the Animated Series from back in the 90s. So I'd love to see that. Dave Bautista, I think, would be great casting for that role. But getting into kind of the big hitters here, which, again, as I touched in that other video, they're not going to, at least in this Chapter 1 announcement, they're not going to be talking about Shazam, The Flash, or Aquaman because we have those DCEU movies coming out this year. So they're not going to, like, if we are getting a reboot, they're not going to announce that because then that would just be a horrible business strategy and nobody would go see those movies. So I think, obviously, at some point we will get another Flash movie, which most likely will be a reboot and will be a recast from Ezra Miller because who wants Ezra Miller as The Flash? So do a reboot. Lucas Tilla is a big fan caster I've seen. You can see some fan art of him right here. I think that would be great. But mainly what I want to see from The Flash in live action in movies, and what I think there is the potential for in this possible reboot is, you know, obviously in the DCU, we're getting this Flash movie with the multiverse and time travel and all this stuff. And as cool as Flashpoint is, it's a great storyline, but I really want to get just a regular street level Flash movie. I would love to see a movie where you just have Flash versus Captain Cold and Heatwave and Captain Boomerang and the Rogues. I think that would be a great movie. I mean, originally before Andy Muschietti and some of these other directors came onto this project, that's originally what it was going to be. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, of course, directors of the Lego movie, and they worked on Into the Spider-Verse as well. They wrote a version of a script for this movie, and it was originally going to be The Rogues, and I think that would be awesome to see. Honestly, or instead, if you want to do something like Gorilla Grodd, that would be awesome as well. I mean, The Flash has such a rich rogues gallery that isn't just speedsters, and I mean, if you are going to do a speedster villain, at least do the Reverse Flash. Don't do it like this Ezra Miller Flash movie and have the Dark Flash, an original character. Like, no, that's just stupid. I mean, did you see the design? If you didn't, check out my video on it. But it's yucky looking. But anyway, what about Aquaman? Again, another one that they're not going to announce anything about this anytime soon. Again, we're also kind of confused, like, are they doing a full reboot? Is it going to be a soft reboot? What's happening? Is Jason Momoa going to play Lobo and Aquaman at the same time? We don't know, but if it's not a full reboot and Jason Momoa still does continue to play Aquaman, I could see an Aquaman 3 ending up happening at some point. I don't know exactly what it would be about or anything like that, because, I mean, we already did Black Manta, we did Ocean Master. Really not a whole lot else to work with Aquaman, at least from my knowledge. Actually, you know what? Aqualad. Let's get some Aqualad up in here. I think that'd be pretty cool to do. But if it is a reboot, then I guess, you know, do some more Ocean Master, Black Manta. But Batman. Batman, of course, member of the DC Trinity. He has been in flux for years. Where, you know, Ben Affleck was Batman. And then Ben Affleck retired from being Batman, and now we have Robert Pattinson as Batman, but then we've also got Michael Keaton as Batman, and, you know, like a bunch of other Batmen going on at the same time as well. So I saw this rumor a little while ago about James Gunn's supposed plans and a supposed leak, and I doubt this is true, but I actually think this would be a great idea. Not do a Batman movie in the DCU, because first of all, that would just get confusing having two different Batman franchises going on at the same time, both Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson's The Batman movies, and a DCU Batman, but instead to differentiate it, make it a Batman HBO Max series, which I know what you're thinking. That probably sounds a little crazy. Like, why would you downgrade Batman to doing TV? But honestly, I think Batman works better on TV, if I'm being honest. I mean, you look at Batman, the animated series, that is a great example. Do that, but in live action. And there's just so much more possibilities here, especially, again, if you want to differentiate this from Matt Reeves' The Batman universe. With that, I mean, I love the universe that is being built there, but the hard thing doing movies is that you can only do one villain every movie, or at least like a couple villains, but you really only have time to focus on like 1 to 2 villains per movie, and then you only get like one movie every couple years, so you don't really get to fully explore the rogues gallery. So this would be a great way to explore the full rogues gallery of Batman, even some more obscure characters we haven't even seen in live action before. But on top of that, again, to differentiate from the Matt Reeves universe, where that is a younger Batman, he's in year 2 of his career, he's still a solo act, no Robin or anything like that, is you do this as an older Batman with the Bat family. Another thing that we've been wanting to see for years in live action, and some people are still pitching like, oh, we should do Robin and do the Bat family in the Matt Reeves universe, but that Batman is just way too young for that. And again, it's kind of hard to even fast track that. So this would be a great opportunity to do that. Have maybe Nightwing already be Nightwing. Have Dick Grayson be retired for Robin. He was Nightwing in this series. Have Tim Drake or Jason Todd as Robin in here. You could explore the under the red hood storyline. You could have Batwoman in here. You could have Batgirl in here. You could do the Oracle storyline. You could have spoiler. You could have Batwing is another possibility as well. I just think this would be great. And, you know, there's so many big storylines when it comes to Batman, specifically related to the Bat family, that we've never seen done in live action, at least not properly. I mean, like, as you can see, we've gotten these characters in live action before, but, like, all of these Bat family members have been done without Batman. So imagine, now this may sound crazy to Warner Brothers and DC, but do these Bat family members in live action, get this, with Batman in the same project. Whoa, that's insane. But I mean, in all honesty, like, they did the Nightwing story on Titans without Batman. They did Red Hood on Titans, which was for the most part without Batman. I mean, they do have Bruce Wayne in that show, but he's like 80 years old, so I mean, he's not even Batman anymore. Batwoman, don't get me started on that. And then Batgirl, that movie was just canceled. That was going to have Batman in it, but then the one time they decided to do that, no, we're going to cancel that movie for a tax write-off just to save money. So this is what I really want to see. I want to see a Bat family HBO Max series. I think this would be a great way to do it. And again, talking about how many big storylines there are, you can do like one overarching story. Like, you could do Batman Under the Red Hood as an overarching story for a whole season, and then, you know, you can have in between that, have smaller episodes, or not necessarily smaller episodes, but in the background have like one-off episodes of Batman fighting certain different villains, but then still have the Red Hood storyline going on at the same time. And I just think this would be a great idea, because in each season you do a new overarching storyline. You just get to explore the mythos of Batman in live action. This is what I really, really want to see. And another possibility here is, you know, we already talked about Nightwing, but Deathstroke. Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke is perfect casting. Amazing suit design here as well, and he was just wasted. He was all thrown down the drain, and that's just sucky. So utilize this opportunity here, and we know James Gunn is a big fan of Deathstroke. He was almost in the Suicide Squad, and so utilize that. You know, obviously I'm bringing this up with the Batman thing because originally, before we got Matt Reeves on, you know, this rebooted universe of the Batman, when it was going to be a Ben Affleck the Batman movie, it was of course Ben Affleck's Batman versus Deathstroke. And, you know, James Gunn has said something about recently having a meeting with Ben Affleck. on directing an upcoming DC project. What if they do a live action Batman HBO Max series and adapt that original story that they wrote for the script for Ben Affleck's The Batman? Because everybody said how amazing that script was. Adapt that into an HBO Max show in this new universe with a new Batman. That would be a great way to do it. Maybe even do a Deathstroke spinoff, an HBO Max series, or a movie. That's another possibility as well. I think Deathstroke Knights and Dragons, the animated movie, is a great example of what you can really do with this character, even on his own. But Deathstroke versus Batman, again, this is a movie we've been teased with for years now about how great this would have been. So bring it to fruition, even if Ben Affleck isn't the one playing Batman. I mean, if he's directing it, that's even better. But just finally bring this story to us in this new universe of the DCU. Now, this is where we get into more wishlisty stuff here, but I want to talk about Justice League Dark. So Justice League Dark is another great team in the comics that we have never seen done in live action. We've seen various members here and there, but we've never seen the full team come together. And this was, again, just like Green Lantern, another series that was supposedly in development for HBO Max. We were supposed to get a Justice League Dark HBO Max series, and there were going to be all the characters were going to get their own series prior to that would then lead up to this. So I'd love to see a Justice League Dark, whether it's a series or a movie, and I'm not saying they necessarily need to do it again in that kind of Avengers, almost Defenders type style setup, give each character their own show, because some of these characters really, I don't think, need their own project. But at the same time, it would be cool to see a John Constantine movie or series in the DCU. I love Matt Ryan as Constantine, so I'd love to see that casting. If not, I mean, this fan art of Hayden Christensen as John Constantine, actually pretty good. I don't mind that. Zatanna, of course, is another big DC character who could hold her own project, but I just want to see her here in general, whether it is Justice League Dark or Justice League or teaming up with Batman. I don't care what it is. I want some Zatanna. Again, another movie that was supposedly in development for the DCU. That went nowhere. Swamp Thing, man. Just going through this just makes me think of how much wasted opportunity there has been over at Warner Brothers in DC these last couple years. We had this amazing Swamp Thing series on DC Universe that was canceled after the first season for no reason other than the fact that they just couldn't afford to do it. And actually no, it was because they had creative differences behind the scenes. It was such a good show too. I want Swamp Thing, whether it's a movie or a series, give me some Swamp Thing. Etrigan is one that I don't think we necessarily need an Etrigan movie or series, but again, I just want to see him involved here with the Justice League Dark, as well as Deadman as well. I think would be a great character to utilize with the Justice League Dark on top of that. Now, another team is the Justice Society of America. Again, another wasted opportunity with the DCU. We got a version of the JSA in Black Adam. I think was a great version of the team, because I'm one of those people that did not hate Black Adam. I just watched it for the first time last month, and I put up my review on the channel, so check that out if you haven't seen it already. But I would love to see some JSA, whether that is their own solo project or appearing in something else. Some of these members getting their own solo projects. I would love to see some Hawkman love, but even more especially some Dr. Fate. Again, whether that's a movie or a series for HBO Max, which was these were both things we were supposed to get in the DCU. But it just did not end up happening. And then finally, we have Teen Titans. Now, we of course have the Titans HBO Max series, which, I mean, season 4, which is what it's on right now, has been great so far. But I'm still not a fan of this version of the Titans. I don't like the dark, edgy version of the Titans where you have Robin saying F Batman. Like, I don't want that. I grew up watching the original Teen Titans cartoon and even a little bit of Teen Titans Go, but I mean, that's really not a good example. But I would love to see that early 2000s Teen Titans cartoon brought to life in live action for an HBO Max series. Have actual teenagers, actual Teen Titans, have Dick Grayson Robin, have Starfire, have Raven, have Cyborg in here. Don't automatically jump him up to be in the Justice League. Have Teenage Cyborg, have Beast Boy, and this would be a great opportunity to, unlike the Titans HBO Max series where he turns into like 2 different animals until season 4, have him turn into some animals. I mean, that's his actual superpower. And then of course, again, You know, obviously there's other characters that could be on here as well. You could have Speedy, you could have Kid Flash, you could have Aqualad, Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, Supergirl, maybe Bumblebee. Get some characters like that in there. They're just, I mean, I'm one of the people who does watch Titans, so I'm not gonna hate on it too much. But it's just so, there's just so much potential to do a good version of the Teen Titans that's not all dark and gritty like that, because it's fine, it's all right, but I want the classic nostalgic early 2000s Teen Titans brought to life in live action. And also, actually, quick little thing right here, Static Shock, another great character that we almost got as a movie, but that didn't end up happening either. Caleb McLaughlin is literally right there. He'd be a great Static Shock. So just throwing that out there as well. But anyways, guys, that concludes the video. That is my predictions slash, honestly, at this point, kind of just wish list of what I want to see in James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Cinematic Universe. There's so much potential here. I just really hope it gets utilized and that things actually move forward. I have full faith in James Gunn and Peter Safran. I'm really excited to see what we get announced in this initial Chapter 1 reveal, which again could be coming literally any day now. Tomorrow we, of course, are getting a brand new, I believe, final trailer for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So I'm really excited for that as well. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about my prediction slash wish list for James Gunn's DCU? And what projects or characters would you like to see in this DC cinematic universe? So thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.